thank you everyone once again for taking time out of your busy schedules to come and listen to me. I know it's a punishment and it's kind of hard sometimes, but thank you. And we'd like to thank our special guest that came all the way out from Utah to hear this wonderful speech that I've prepared for them and everyone else. Now, have you ever been driving down the road and a song comes on the radio and it just seems to either lift your spirits up or kind of get you in that road rage mode? Or when you get home from work, you turn on the radio and there's a song on there that just kind of helps you mellow out, kind of gets you to relax, you almost fall asleep to it, kind of like the sound of my voice. Yes. Well, believe it or not, some music can actually affect our bodies to speed up our heart rates or slow them down. They can make us angry, they can make us hungry, they can do all kinds of fun stuff. That's what I want to talk to you about, is the effects of music on the human body. Now, in order for you to better understand this, the first thing we need to know is how exactly the human brain works. Everyone's got one, some bigger than others, but the human brain is covered with these teeny little cells. They're called neurons. And I like to think of a neuron as a telephone conversation. Okay? You have the top part here with these little branches called dendrites. Now the dendrite is like a receiver on the telephone. It's the one that's receiving all the information and that you're listening to. Now if you were to respond back, you got to travel down the telephone line to the other end. You see the telephone line there? Everyone's kind of giving me a blank stare here. And then once it hits the end of the telephone line, you have this little transceiver that goes right back to the other person. So you have this communication going on between each neuron. Now what happens is stimuli from outside or inside the body causes chemical reactions in the brain. Your brain releases certain chemicals which starts an electrical impulse that these neurons carry throughout the entire brain and down to the body to where it needs to go. So, the brain waves can be measured, the brain electricity is measured in waves. There we go, that's what I'm trying to get to. And believe it or not, sometimes these waves can look very similar to sound waves. Now, on my poster board here, I have two sets of waves. One is a sound wave, one is a brain wave. Can anyone really tell the difference between which one is which? Anyone like to take a guess? Speak up. Okay. What we got here on the left side, these are sound waves. Different sound waves with different pitches, frequencies, and volumes. And here are our brain waves on different sleep cycles, when we're awake, when we're kind of feeling drowsy, when we're feeling happy, and when we're asleep. So you can see how these waves appear very similar in different stages. So what happens is, sometimes when we're listening to a certain sound, our brain mistakes it for a signal, releases chemicals that those neurons I mentioned earlier will take to the body and do different things. Now, a slow rhythm and a slow wave here can be signaled to the body as a slow down signal. Heartbeat slows down, you kind of feel a little tired, you kind of get a little sleepy. Sounds with fast rhythms, a lot of frequency going on here, can be interpreted as a pick-me-up. Those are the ones that you get your heart going, you get a little rush of energy, and you're kind of feeling good about yourself. So, what I want to talk about next is how this music is used in our daily lives to affect us without us even knowing about it. Now, the first one I put up here is restaurants. Anyone ever pay attention to the kind of music that they play in fast food restaurants? It's quick. It is. It's very rhythmic, it's very fast, there's a lot of beats to it. And they've actually done studies in Maryland that fast food restaurants do this on purpose. It makes you eat faster and it makes you less full when you're done eating. So you'll actually order more food. Go to a fancier restaurant, you always have like the slower music, and the portions aren't as big because they found out with those slow classical music, we will actually eat slower and feel more full after the meal. Now, for schools, how many people know their ABCs in this room? I'm sure everybody knows the ABCs. How did you learn your ABCs? Through music, through a song. There have been several researches done on the effects of music on school-age children to help them learn cognitive abilities, help them speak, help them remember to sounds of words, reading, all that stuff. Sporting events. You go into the big stadiums, they have loud music going, a lot of it techno music, a lot of bass to it. Why do they do that? Have you ever seen someone sitting on their butt bored at a sporting event? Heck no, they're standing up, they're hooting, they're hollering. The music actually affects them to get their blood moving all the time. So they've always got that adrenaline rush. Hospitals. Hospitals have been trying to do music therapy for a while now. They found patients after surgery, if they play slow melodies, a lot of slow jazz, classical music, it actually improves their recovery time almost 10%. Also with patients in nursing homes, a lot of times the Alzheimer's patients, when they get a little out of hand, they found that if they play soft, slow music, that they can calm the residents down and they're more able to work with these residents. So that there's continued research in the field of medicine as far as music goes. Businesses, a lot of times in business situations and business meetings, some music will be played to help the meeting keep its flow. If there's not a lot of pauses, there's always a good attitude with music such as contemporary, Enya's, Sarah Brightman's, and more of the jazz type of music, classical jazz. It helps to focus the meeting and people stay focused on what is being said if there's music being played. Elevators, believe it or not, there's a specific reason why they play elevator music on an elevator. One of the reasons that they say is because people that are claustrophobic or scared of elevators, when they step into the elevator and they have that music playing, it actually helps to keep them calm. People have found that if there's no music, that makes them even more fearful. So a little bit of soft music will keep them from having an attack, a panic attack. Waiting rooms. Everybody knows those waiting rooms can be a stressful situation when you just want to go into the dentist or the doctor and just get your physical and get out. Well, once again, slow-paced music, they've found that keeps people's tempers down. It keeps everyone's patience running high, and there's a lot less stress in waiting rooms. These are just a little bit of the things I've researched and I've found. Now, there's going to be continued research for who knows how long. I mean, music is everywhere. We can't get away from it. So it's going to be very important to understand the way that the music affects us in our lives. We could actually use it instead of having that cup of coffee in the morning. Maybe you could play a little song for you and it helps you rise with the sun and you're ready to go. It could be used as a sleep aid. Play a little soft music and you fall right asleep to it. Some people might be able to get rid of medications that they can't afford anymore. Just several different things that are available, and who knows what the future can hold. Well, I'd like to thank you once again, everyone, for taking the time out and listening to me. I appreciate it, and thank you.